What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today I'm going to be recapping my first ever powerlifting meet that I did on February 23rd this year. And before I actually go into covering the lifts themselves, I just want to kind of talk about my mindset going into it. I was so nervous going into this meet for a bunch of reasons. But aside from just it being my first powerlifting meet, I didn't know anybody else there. I didn't go with a coach or a team. So I was nervous because of that, but I was also nervous because I was having to compete in the women's division. And at first, I decided that I was going to shave my face, and I was like, maybe that will kind of help the situation be a little less awkward. And then I realized, well, I'm not going to shave my legs too. So I'm just going to own it. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to be the man that I am, and I'm just going to compete in the division that I have to compete in. And I can honestly say that it went great. Everyone there was great. Thank you so much to the people that ran the meet. All of the women that were in my flight were super awesome. And apparently I got a lot of feedback that people were really impressed that I was just really strong, and honestly a lot of people just assumed that I was a male anyway, so it felt really, really good to hear that. Even, in my head I was thinking, you have to compete in a sports bra, the women do, and since I haven't had top surgery yet, obviously I had to wear a sports bra under my stuff. I still wore tape under the sports bra, thanks to my buddy Cash for recommending that I still do that. But honestly, I was just really nervous about how people were going to perceive me. But before I went into it, I just said, you know what? It doesn't matter what people think. I'm here for me. I'm here to do this for myself, and I enjoy the sport. I just want to compete. And so I went in and I did it, and I'm so glad I did. So my first squat attempt was opening at 105 kilos. It's 231.5 pounds. And this was a really, really light opener for me. People were asking why I opened so low, actually, on all three of my lifts. But the reason was that it was my first lift, or my first meet, and I didn't have a coach. I was picking my own attempts. So it flew up, obviously. The 105 flew up, and I think my openers is the reason why it placed me in the first flight also, because my openers were so low. But I was glad that I was on the first flight during this meet, because that means that I could just get it out of the way and then not have to sit around and just wait and kind of be nervous. So my second attempt was 120 kilos. It's 264.6 pounds. I was nervous about this because I wasn't sure how it was going to feel, and this was about a 30-pound jump. But once I actually got under the bar and got the weight on my back, it felt great, and I was excited. So I decided to go ahead and go for a PR for my third attempt, which was 140 kilos, or 308.6 pounds. And actually, once I watched this video back, I was so surprised at how low I actually went on the squat. I definitely hit depth and then some. So I've now started to kind of fix my squat depth some, so that I'm not going like HEG, and so that I'm not wasting that energy. So I'm actually fixing my squat height now that I'm kind of in this off season between meets. But yeah, so squats went really well. On my bench, I actually opened with 85 kilos, which is only 187.4 pounds, but I was the last one to go in my flight. I had the heaviest opener, and then I ended up having the heaviest attempts in my whole flight for all three attempts every time. So 85 kilos felt really easy. And then I went over and I went ahead and picked 97.5 kilos for my second attempt, which was 214.9. And honestly, it felt a little heavy. And I was getting nervous because my current max is 225 without a lift off. But I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And I picked 105 for my third attempt. 105 kilos, which is 231.5. And you can see by the footage, I got two different angles of this, but I got the lift. but my butt came off. My butt came off the bench a little bit, and they called me on it, so I got red lights on that one, but I am glad that the weight went up. I did misgroove it a little bit. I touched a little bit lower on my chest than I normally do, so I think I kind of misgrooved it and had to overcompensate a little with my butt coming off, but I was kind of bummed about that. But honestly, overall, I was pretty happy with how my bench went, and especially with it being my first meet. So on to the deadlifts. By this time, I was honestly tired. I was like, wow, okay, this is what a meet is like. My body was tired, and I was kind of ready to go to bed, but I picked 125 for my deadlift opener, which is 275.6 pounds. And when I was warming up, I went ahead and warmed up and put 315 on the bar in warm-ups and pulled that, and I felt fine. So going into this 275, I was already prepared for it. My CNS was already prepared for it. So my second attempt, I picked 150, which is 331 pounds, and I was nervous about this. I didn't know how I was gonna feel. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be pretty heavy, but once I actually got up there, I snatched it up, and it went really well. Honestly, it came flying up off the floor, and I decided that for my third attempt for deadlift, I was going to use some ammonia for the first time, which I know people say don't do anything for the first time during your first meet, but I was feeling the environment. Everybody was hyping me up. I was super pumped, and I just wanted to get that kind of head clarity that ammonia gives you, and I'm so glad I did it because my head was feeling foggy before I went up there. I was nervous, and then as soon as I sniffed that, I was just super hyper alert and ready to go. And so for my third attempt, I picked a PR of 160 kilos, which is 352.7 pounds, and I snatched that thing up. People were saying that I should have gone up more. I think that was the perfect amount of weight for my third attempt, and honestly, overall, with the whole meet, I'm really, really happy with my performance. I am bummed that I didn't get the bench press third attempt because I really would have liked to have that 230, but for my first meet, going 8 for 9, you know, I honestly can't complain. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the people that were there, and honestly, to have a total, well, my total in kilos was 397.4 kilos. So in pounds, it's 876.2 pounds, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So I'm gonna actually calculate my Wilks score really quick. So I weighed in at 91.5 kilos the day before, which is 201.7 pounds. And with that total of 876, it gives my Wilks score 341.12, which is honestly not too shabby. It's not great by any means, but for my first meet and for my first go round, being a fairly new lifter, I wouldn't even really consider myself intermediate, although I feel like my technique is pretty good. Maybe an early intermediate lifter, but definitely still a novice in the sport, and I'm really happy with my performance. I can't wait to compete again. Like, I remember leaving that meet and just thinking, wow, I can't wait to compete again. So I'm really looking forward to my next competition. I'm not sure. I'm on a waiting list for a meet that's here in Birmingham in April, but I'm not sure if I'll get in because it's a fairly small meet. Other than that, I'll be looking at meets probably towards August, sometime there, so that hopefully I'll be getting top surgery maybe in May or this summer, depending. An update on that, I called my surgeon's office yesterday, February 28th. So I gave him a month from the time that I had my appointment, and I just asked him for a status update. And she said that it normally takes insurance about 4 to 6 weeks to approve it. They have already contacted the insurance. They're just waiting to hear back from them. So now it's just kind of a waiting game. She said that I should hear back from my surgeon's office by mid-March, because as soon as they hear back from the insurance that it's approved, they're going to be contacting me and setting up a surgery date. So depending on my doctor's availability and depending on my work schedule, Hopefully I can get it done sometime in May. That's like the soonest that I could possibly get it done, so of course I want to get it done as soon as possible. But we'll see. I'm really just looking forward to competing again, even though I was really scared that it was going to be awkward. It wasn't at all. The powerlifting community is so awesome. There were some people at this meet that even asked about my pronouns, which honestly meant the world to me. I mean, I really just can't even put into words how pleased I am with this entire experience. And I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I didn't chicken out. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to the people that ran the meet. Thank you to everyone who competed with me. And thank you to everyone that came to my meet. My best friend and my family came to my meet. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for following along with me on this journey. I am working on the next episode of Transparently Trans, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know on Instagram sometime next week what that episode is gonna be about. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.